start. Durka looking to try and get in their face as much as humanly possible, and well, manages to get that opener onto Adacaptain.
He's found himself an opening, and they're looking to crunch on it, but a big play by FUT, wrapping themselves around. They've made it to the south side as Zeus picks up a triple. This round has quickly fallen into FUT's hands, and now with just one player left to fall, it is the new gun that has to face off against almost the
50-50s, it seems, all the way through the matchup, and it'll really put to a test how well set up they are. Okay, Zeus, just looking for some start points out of the fourth in front of them. And they kind of already have the attack boxed in, but that kill onto Cracks opened things up.
Yeah, there's a lot of weaknesses for FUT. Losing those opening duels just makes it so much harder. The pressure on as they attempt to crunch towards Arcade. Les is having none of it, cleaning up the kills before he meets Yedege. But a 1 versus 4, an ace clutch needed, and really I guess the question of damage is always going to be there in a round like this. But carrying that Bulldog through to the next could give them some opportunities, or even that reposition to catch them off as they exit. Yeah, removing weapons is often going to be the goal of players in this situation.
I can assume there's no real reason for him to hold on to the gun, because if he dies, he'll get himself a Vandal in the next round, or Phantom, but it's FUT, it'll be the Vandal. It's whether or not he can catch anyone on the way out. Unfortunately, they're now running directly towards where he was previously seen, so his last position might have held a little bit more value. Potentially going to try and sneak up behind them. A nasty surprise if nobody's paying attention, but a couple of players watching. He'll take one. Almost manage a second as well. Solid counter flash thrown out by the attack side, and now they look to wrap back in, still having that additional information. Yedege though, Zeus spraying through, still trying to get through that same choke point that they were stopped at initially. Vitality has stalled.
But that's exactly why they wanted to go so quickly when they saw his utility was down. That cage causes so many problems. Combine that with the fact that he's using a Phantom, you can't see the tracers, and he is firing on all cylinders. With that utility now in play, the camera watching for the walkouts on A, and no more steps. The complete freeze from Vitality, at least from FUT's perspective. They make the rotation you just highlighted, Tom. Everybody other than Yedege is waiting on this B side of the map with Cracks sneaking down below. This is a powerful setup.
Yeah, there's not a lot of time either. Spike already dropped onto the ground, and it's left all onto Sebo. Zeus already putting that first nail in the coffin, but even just surviving here is going to be nigh on impossible. The spike plant will go down at least, but you are boxed into a corner, trapped with your opponents standing in line. You need both shots immediately, and he won't even get one.
Just the stun, looks for the fight. That is Durka on the other side, but he's not deterred, and maybe he should have been. Plenty of players backing him up, and Zeus down. Adacaptain looks to fill his boots, but boots are lead. They're sinking in this round.
It's all out aggression. They're literally just trying to stop Vitality before they can even get anywhere near any part of the map. And it does almost feel like Zeus has just been told to be disrespectful. Cracks. Okay, he definitely wanted to. He is going to. Straight through. Oh, the spray is not pretty. One completely blind, and it is 1v1 Jules galore for this round. Every single fight being taken, and so far, every single one being lost. It's only Yedege standing. Economy, it's not bad, but it's not as good as you might think for the side of FUT. It's looking like he's going to attempt to do some damage here. And he's going to fail. Alvos, but he knows there's going to be someone in this corner ready to try and fight him. And while Zeus is going to get both of them, somehow he still makes it work.
But they've lost the site now. Plan can be acquired safe. Spike goes back towards that site. The smokes are down, but not for too much longer. The decision needs to be made.
Trying to find it.
That's a very open plan, but he's going to get it in. I mean, this is fantastic. Zeus, super low HP if he can swing through and catch them off, but Les wasn't really sticking that fight. Yedege just on the other side, and that ultimate gets them info. They'll know exactly where these last two players are. They've got them boxed in, and it's Yedege who's looking to finish them off. The cam for the info, and he hoped that he could catch Les off. Ability in from kicks, he might be able to stop them, but it's already halfway. Time pressure is on, reload is heard, spam's coming through, and not quite landing, and the repeat gets them across the line with a sneaky defuse. Hey, main, not going to be available for the retake to play through those smokes, as we've seen plenty of times before. Late play by Les. He's been spotted though, and now they're coming back to this two-man setup. The high-low grabs the kill, and now a huge advantage for FUT. Kicks and safe. In fact, just safe. Last alive. The spike down, up above. He needs everything.
What is a bit of an unorthodox position. Look at Zeus again. He's just running it down.
Big north side play. They've got south of B covered in by the trap, but this means one less for Yedege to play off of on the site, and pressure is on him. A lot of weaker weapons here for Vitality as they get aggressive. Ult popped by Durka. An opportunity to really turn this back in their favor as they've pressured the weaker side. And FUT left into a very disadvantageous spot. A 1 versus 5. Mr. Fallen grabs the first. With 4 more to go, and the spike very much planted. It's not looking too likely that he takes this across the line. Now, they don't need the money for the next round, but there's a few more to play for. Rolling Thunder will be committed from FUT. They really want this round, and understandably, but put them with a leg up at the half no matter what happens next. But Seavov's put Yedege in the dirt. It made it to the side at least, but those smokes soon to fade. Safe falls. Okay, they need a few more kills though, and it's mainly up towards Heaven. Orbital Strike will be pulled into play, getting them a pick as well with Zeus falling. And the spike still needing to be defused. The smoke's no longer blocking them. Krax goes pushing, but he is caught as well.
Looking to come in from behind. Salvos to force them more into the open and hoping space can be made, and it has been. Dirk has done well. There is less, as I said. It seemed like he was completely unnoted by the opposing side, and Seavov is there to strike once again. A 6-6 half looking inevitable, unless we can see that clutch from Dish, which, as I said earlier, is not an easy thing to do.
No. You know, maybe if you had some utility to help you out, but just the cam, I'm not sure how much Yedege can do with that. A Guardian in hand, and 4 players that he's up against. Super passive position, safe, waiting for salvos to come online. Aftershock in play as well.
They're so far out of the sight.
There's no way that this can go his way. It's a stat farming round, and it turns out to be just that. It's because he's too cool. He's playing the cool card. Oh, Salvo's in, and okay, forced forward is out of captain. A little bit delayed to the rest of the squad thanks to that util and FUT. Well, they're pumping the brakes on this, hoping that Yedege can find value, and that he does.
Been good so far. He even manages to double up onto kicks as they are trying to catch him out around his own cage. Durka and less. Deadliest of duos. First will come for free. A tiny tag to Durka, but still a whole lot to be found. This fight versus Anna Captain could be everything. The smoke lasting an extortionate amount of time. That means they're going to go past each other, but Anna Captain might just have the drop on his opponent. It just depends when he peeks around the corner, but he doesn't manage to land the shots. And both players now within the tower. The main issue is that time has been ticking. A stun available, a knife if needed, but the fact is Krax already just looking to swing out, and with the clock already gone, there really isn't any more time for less. It needed to be the insta-kills, and in the end, it's Krax to close. 2. Durka, Operator, doesn't have the shields, and he's just about going to get out of there. His counterpart of Zeus that was the main person to highlight in that previous half has already gone down. Mr. Fallen has just gone walking through the smoke. It seems like Les is more than aware and will be able to hold on, but not for long. The trade out eventually. How are they going to go for the plant? Getting into a position where they have rifles to play with. This round might not be as easy as a normal bonus.
Salvos were used start a round by Safe. I think they'll be online soon, and probably you just wait for that refreshing utility to come back into play. Here we go. Salvo's online, being lined up as we speak, but Adacaptain, he's got a read on the timing. Stun goes in. Beautiful from Adacaptain, disrupting the play completely. Stopwatch in their head, and now a 2 versus 3. Vitality stalled out, op in hand, and that's something you're gonna want to carry through to the next. They're running for the hills, saving these weapons, and it's all thanks to Adacaptain. The double in the last round was nice, but for now, that's not the case. The plant comes in before any fall. Durka, the flash catches him. Beautiful work from Mr. Fallen, and he follows up with the kill onto Kicks too. Less Safe and Seavov, they've got it all to do, and money's not great. The chances aren't looking fantastic. They might want to consider a save at this point.
They've got to be nervous of the post plant as well. They could literally be anywhere. The way the FUT have been playing was so aggressive that you can even see just the nerves. There's 15 angles they need to check all at once, and the players just swinging one by one.
It's looking like this won't be one they have too much of a say in. Like you said, Durka's ult unlikely to be committed, and you can see why he's dealt with so quickly. The pistol's in play, okay, good stun, but they can't follow up on it because there's 2 more players on the angle holding for that peak. The opportunities being given away are slim to none. I mean, I do see Adacaptain getting a bit aggressive, but again, that's because Zeus is there. There's two players on the site with that bit more of a passive hold, just peeking off the flashes. Sometimes peeking out wide, as Krax just gets punished, but you know, even economy management's not really in the realm of conversation here. FUT, we've got so many credits.
Angle so they can flash through it.
Oh, it's nasty. The double flashes too, but Kicks still manages to walk away with one. The trades, though, are there as the op steps into play. Durka lands himself one. Ult activated, throwing everything at this one. And he'll lose his life immediately. A connection from Krax that maybe doesn't level the playing field. See, there's info to play with on the other side. With the hat off Les's head and the spike down in the open, there's almost no choice for FUT but to run into this angle. Mr. Fallen has his ultimate. Don't know if they'll commit it at this point or write this round off and play for the next. They know they're still up against an op, or they could be. Safe's the one to retrieve it.
They're just checking there's no one on the flank. I know the Cypher must have been around here somewhere. That's where all the bodies lie, but maybe still a little nervous for where Safe is sitting. Vitality know that Spike was on the deck, unless they're gonna have a rough idea that he's around the sand area. But that time now ticking. Safe already honed in on the site. They could try and hightail it back, but that clock is getting far too low. They need to make a move, and the crossfire setup should make it impossible. They are well aware of Les's position, but he'll find both anyway.
Comes the big push, Molly up top, but Safe is the second player in the setup. Big swing around the back, but Les gets nothing. And now this becomes very troublesome indeed. If they get the plant here, Rolling Thunder for post-plant. Zeus, actually the one looking for the plant. Instead it's going towards Adacaptain.
They baited it.
Just a bait to start. Rolling Thunder used up as Yedege is running it down. Information in play. They know exactly where Durka is. No smokes to block him off, but no need to peek him either. And going running in there with the op with no ult to fall back on, it's not going to look too pretty. He's going to take down 5 players. In fact, he's only got 4 shots in his magazine. This one looking like it's too tall a task to ask. It's 3 players lined up in a firing squad. Yedege, the safety in this play, to swing in and close it out. Just moments away from connecting their own map pick, 13-7, and momentum in FUT's favor.
Will do a lot of early damage, but he's also taken a lot of early damage.
Yedege with the opening pressure on him, though. Durka quick to trade it out, and the site seems to be theirs. They still have to cross through, though. Zeus dealt with, and that'll at least get a plant out of this situation. A 3 versus 4. Vitality of so many players inches away from death.
Without a captain and a classic, definitely nervous. Les looking to try and get back around, but it's already Durka within that site. Managing to get it to half. They've got to be a little bit careful. Spam's coming through. They're going to try and body block this and just stick it, but there comes the double. Oh, from behind, Krax has managed to find some, though. That time is ticking away. Les is going to be revealed. He knows roughly where he is. Needs to land the shot. He's run out of bullets. It will be Les to get a freebie.
Holding on the site. That nade, though, is going to force Krax into the open. A battle Durka's happy to take. Site now under pressure. Zeus comes in to fill the gap.
Got 15 seconds.
Patiently as the time ticks away. Yeah, they need to make a move. Although now he's been spotted. No more element of surprise. Big swing from Seavoff. They found their pick, but they need the plant. 6 seconds on the clock and out of ammo. Yedege goes down, but they've managed to get that plant in. Seavoff, 1v2. He needed that onto Adacaptain immediately. Potentially going to TP onto the site. Oh, nice pick by Krax. Clay pigeon shooting, finding that in the TP, very much expected, but Les gets the element of surprise up top, pounces for a double, but that's all he'll get. Seavoff in a familiar position, but the spike not planted this time, and players everywhere.
Using the exact same composition. The thing is, I think Fnatic are always very good at those very late round executions, whereas so far for Vitality, it has just been...
They are playing back, allowing Vitality to take the space, confident on their crunches after. With cracks down, there's still more players than they should expect. And Zeus saves the day with the double. Just one left and he'll clean him up too.
Try and catch them off guard. Pressure placed onto Cracks. He's actually going to use the Nightfall just to try and get him out of there, and Safe has done what? But Yenishay has done even better. It's 2 kills already. From this aggressive position, Safe managed to get past, but nobody else even made it into sight.
And they needed Safe. They needed that player to link up with. Instead, now they're in a position where you're pushing through a smoke.
Zeus. But they are running into Zeus. Homed in on the angle. Nice shot on the first. Captain is there, but I don't think he wants to overface this one. Viper's Pit might be utilized. Never mind, Captain does want to do that. And with the tail utility going in, the Salvos is going to deny them a plant.
10 seconds left.
They've only got 10 seconds to try and get this in. Paranoia being sent through. TP behind it, and whoa, that's a nasty surprise. Sevo in another 1v3. Okay, who's going to shoot it so we don't give the full game away? And now they've got to try and run into a stack site. It's a bit of a whiff from Mr. Fallen, but the time is ticking once again. They managed to clear at least one of them. That leaves it down to the remaining 2. One of the best scenarios we've seen for Vitality so far. Mistakes were definitely made, but they could look to rectify. Patient stuff, the trade back, and Captain finds him through the smoke.
Here comes the showstopper. Weaker weapons in play, certainly on Safe, but that rocket will make up for it. Mr. Fallen down and out. And this is the best chance they've had so far. 5v4 conversion is high. This was a 5v3, but we're back to equal footing. Safe trying to pull it back, but he's dropped by Zeus. And again, the pressure put on as the flanker's down. It's all onto Kicks. This looked like a shoo-in, a 3rd round at last. But instead, it's another clutch for Vitality. Not Sevoff this time, but still an impossible task. Might have even said the best, but certainly way above the average when it comes to 5v4 conversions, and a 5v3 lost. Recovering here with a 3rd round would be nice.
No.
The Captain stayed in the corner.
They have to check it. He's done stuff like this so many times as well, just with these bait TPs. Cracks is already in to support, though, hiding within, and they don't expect him. I think he even got tagged by a vulnerable from Yenishay from above. Captain is still somehow here. Eventually, again, it goes down to running out of ammo. That's been FUT's biggest weakness in this map, has been running out of bullets. But I'm seeing a clutch scenario. I'm seeing FUT with what is now a 9-round streak. Does it finally end at the end of the half?
Once it's not Vitality in the clutches. It's been tough so far. I like this, though. Stacked up on the backside of firing squad. An impossible task for Yenishay. He swings in, and he's out of the round.
In this map this year, this would be the first, maybe when they need it most. An aggressive start into the round, but it is Durka to start. We're back in a 5v4.
Pistol essential here for Vitality, and Durka's already grabbed himself a double. Kicks, steps up to the plate for more. It's Cracks isolated in the open.
Drift, and Durka, he's looking to try and catch a timing. Has to be careful of the flash, and in fact they both get caught. The 1-2 punch of Zeus and Cracks, and this round is already in turmoil.
Safe goes down, not an easy position to connect from. Marshall in the open on A, mid-rotate as he's picked off, and now the A site very much taken. In fact, they have so much time, and they go for an orb. And then the plant, so Zeus will have ultimate online, not expecting to have any battles to fight. And indeed he won't. Captain.
He's not falling for that anymore.
Decoy sent, and a great flash. That is beautiful from Captain. The paranoia lands, and with it the opening pick, and the A site falling. Durka, the last bastion of defense. Trying to sneak forward and get some space. In fact, he's not cleared his corner.
Yeah, why would he expect Captain to just be sat there watching another obscure angle and what?
Save already?
Yeah, I don't think there's much more they could do. That execution was wonderful, by the way. Let's convert that advantage.
Durka, nice blast pack. They still win the duels, though. And another for Zeus. It's a 3v2. The advantage back into FUT's court. But Safe, with the operator, he's picked off a key player. The one that was on site. Now the pressure on, but it's on to Safe instead. 45 HP and a one-way smoke blocking him out from any real hope of taking this round across the line. The defuse no longer possible, saving the op an equally difficult task. He's boxed in. The spike set to explode, the flash good, but out of captain's there. Opportunity, the man advantage potentially, but now Sevov is isolated. And Safe stuck up close. He's not caught by the ult. But one player is, that might sell out the fake. They might not expect him to still be so close, and he'll get his reward, but Yedajay pulls it back into their favor. Now the op stuck behind a smoke. They need another hero. Showstopper fired in for another. Vitality with a real opportunity. Both players spotted. Nade in on the C's. Mr. Fallen barely survives, holding on for dear life.
Why, it's necessary.
Absolutely. Oh!
What?
Zeus! In such a crucial time for Vitality, pulling out a play like that. The pit now blocking off so much the pathway they'd like to use to get back in. The plant secured, and an operator through a pit. Oh, this is disastrous. Of all the times to make a play like that, Zeus, he may be out of the round, but his mark on this round is clear.
Playing time. They have the ultimate
Close at
ready
6.
salvos, yeah. In a matter of seconds. This clock might be enough for them to win this, and they still have a couple of other snakes within the grass. They also have to try and deal with every other piece of utility in play. At a captain, puts one more on the body pile, as Vitality look like they might be going out with a whimper Sevov, unless all that stands in the way of FUT, and they will not stand much longer. FUT send Vitality packing.